Thanks for joining us tonight at 5. An early morning shooting in Winona leaves 2 people dead and another in a Jackson hospital. Riley Livingston, she talks with investigators about what happened. She's been at the scene all afternoon. She now joins us live back in studio with the details. Riley.
Scott, just before 2 o'clock Friday morning, shots rang out at a home on Montgomery Street in Winona. Chief Investigator Dan Harrod tells us what began as a domestic dispute escalated to a murder-suicide when officers found a female victim lying in the front yard, suffering from 2 gunshot wounds. After further investigation, they found another deceased female inside an SUV. She had been shot 4 to 5 times through that window. 31-year-old Charles McCrary was found outside that SUV with a gunshot wound to his head. Investigators believe that both McCrary and both victims knew each other. Before she was taken to UMMC, the second victim told investigators an argument led to the shooting.
These two had a dating relationship, and the second female victim, if she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, I think. And if she had been inside of the residence or anything like that, I think it just would have been the first female victim and Charles McQuarrie.
Winona Police Chief Tommy Bibbs says the shooting is still under investigation and both bodies have been taken to the crime lab. Scott.
Situation there. Thanks, Riley. We'll have more on that story coming up tonight at 6. The man shot and killed last night in Crawford has been identified. 62-year-old Willie Baptist died at his Starkville Road home after being shot in the chest. Lowndes County deputies say Baptist and his 41-year-old son got into some sort of argument. Investigators believe Baptist fired a shot inside the home, and then there was a struggle over the gun. That's when the gun was fired again. Chief Deputy Greg Wright says the shooting is still under investigation, and so far no arrests have been made. The case will be presented to the next grand jury. A Matheson man is killed in an early morning motorcycle crash in Oktibbeha County. Deputies were called to Brown Road just before 8 this morning. Investigators say the motorcycle 70-year-old Billy Jones was driving ran off the roadway and crashed. It's the only vehicle believed to be involved in that accident. A passerby saw the crash and called first responders. Oktibbeha County deputies are investigating that accident. A police chase in downtown Tupelo comes to a halt after the driver crashes. That driver still on the run tonight. Tupelo police say they tried to stop a black Dodge Charger in the Hilda Avenue area. Officers were conducting a safety checkpoint, and they say the car tried to go the other direction. The chase continued through Fair Park and on East Main Street. Police ended the chase in around the Skyline area that is. Police then got reports that the car crashed in the Lee and Itawamba County area, but the driver, they say, ran off on foot. Police are still working to try to figure out who was in that car. A Lowndes County man is accused of trying to choke his girlfriend and dropping a machete on her foot. 42-year-old Jeremy Vassar is charged with domestic violence aggravated assault. Investigators say Vassar woke the victim up and was holding a dress and a machete. Deputies were told that Vassar accused her of cheating. The two argued and she was allegedly choked. At some point, the machete was dropped and landed on the woman's foot. She was taken to the hospital for treatment. Vassar's bond is set at $20,000. 2 juveniles have been arrested in connection with social media threats targeting area schools. Police were notified of the threats Thursday, sent through text messages. During a news conference on the steps of Church Street School, officials said Oxford and Pontotoc police traced the source of the threats to an address in Tupelo. That's where the arrests were made. The 2 juveniles were also being questioned about threats to schools in Oxford and Pontotoc. 2 schools in Tupelo, Pierce Street Elementary and Tupelo Middle School, they were put on partial lockdown Thursday and Friday. Police Chief Bartigari also cautioned people against reposting any of those alleged threats going around on social media.
There could possibly be additional charges that could possibly come from that as well. Anytime you cause fear and cause a panic like that, there's possible charges that could come out of that.
Shannon schools and Okolona schools were also put on partial lockdown after similar threats were received this afternoon. President Trump hammered Democrats in the second big speech of his week-long vacation. He told a rally in Manchester, New Hampshire last night that the economy will tank if he's not reelected. Paula Reed is traveling with the president. She has more.
the 401ks, down the tubes. Everything's going to be down the tubes. So whether you love me or hate me, you got to vote for me.
President Trump tried to project confidence about the economy in his pitch to New Hampshire voters, a state he narrowly lost to Hillary Clinton in 2016, and recent polls show President Trump trailing Democratic frontrunner Joe Biden there by 10 points.
We should have won New Hampshire. That was taken away.
The president defended his ongoing trade war with China, which economists say is partly to blame for the market plunge this week.
We are doing very well with China, despite the fact that they want to have you believe to the contrary.
Voters in attendance said their support is unwavering.
I think that he proved himself a lot in the last 3 years. The market, the stocks, the jobs, the economy.
And in his first rally since mass shootings in Ohio and Texas, he stood firm on supporting gun owners' rights.
We will always uphold the right to self-defense, and we will always uphold the Second Amendment. We will.
In recent days, the president has said he wants meaningful background checks, but continued to make this controversial claim.
It's not the gun that pulls the trigger. It's the person holding the gun.
Former Vice President Joe Biden also held an event in New Hampshire last night to capitalize on the president's visit. Biden's team set up down the street from the arena where the president had his rally, so Biden's folks could talk to voters and recruit volunteers. Paula Reed, CBS News, Berkeley Heights, New Jersey.
Time now to get a first look at our Friday forecast. We'll send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey there, Keith.
Scott, right now, look at all the blue in the sky. A live view in West Alabama, Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. Not too shabby here on our Friday, as we say sayonara to this work week. Gorgeous scene in downtown Louisville, Mississippi. Just a few friendly clouds out there, but it's looking great. Heading into our Friday evening, look closely. You have to look closely to see any clouds on the visible satellite. So not just here, but really everywhere in Mississippi and Alabama, it is a great Friday. Now, it's warm. You know that if you've been out. It is very, very warm, low in mid-90s, but the humidity remains low, so it actually feels pretty comfortable out there. And once we get into the evening, we fall into the 80s and then the 70s here. It's going to be a great Friday evening to be out and about. I'm back with your weekend forecast, Scott, in just a few minutes.
The area's largest entertainment venue is giving guests more cush for your tush. Workers recently finished installing new seat bottoms on the 6,000 plus seats in the upper bowl at the Bancourt South Arena. That overhaul is part of a 3-year project to replace the floor, risers, and the upper section seating in the 26-year-old arena. Executive Director Todd Hunt says proving a top-notch experience for every guest is key to the arena's success over the years.
Our goal is for people when they come here to have a good time and enjoy themselves. And 25 years ago, the amenities that people expected weren't quite as high as they are now. Certainly, if you're going to be here for any extended length of time, you like to have a cushioned seat that you can sit in. And we heard our patrons tell us that, and we've delivered.
Yeah, we got to have a comfy seat. Next up, a major renovation of the Bancourt Conference Center will be linked to the arena with a covered lobby and a walkway. We're only 2 weeks into the school year, and area districts are already reporting cases of stomach virus, even the flu. How teachers are trying to curb the problem before an outbreak. Next.
It's Moonlight Madness at Ashley Home Store. Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Buy one, get one half off. Store-wide or pay no interest for 5 years with no money down. 10 hours only. This Friday at Ashley Home Store.
It's the Honda Summer Spectacular event. That means more euphoric feelings that come from getting a great deal on a Honda CR-V or HR-V. Or from getting a Pilot or Passport. All part of 2019's best SUV brand. Hurry in today and experience the joy for yourself.
Get a great deal on the Honda CR-V, part of 2019's best SUV brand, at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
Bill Waller. You have a couple of ideas that some conservatives may have trouble wrapping their arms around.
Right.
Raising the gasoline tax.
Right.
Possibly expanding Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
Medicaid expansion. Yes. Now that could add 300,000 people or so to the rolls. How do you justify that?
I think we have to do it.
Hold it. Bill Waller wants to raise taxes and expand Obamacare. No wonder the press says Bill Waller is sounding liberal.
First 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
Get over $10,000 total value on this next generation 2019 Sierra Crew Cab SLT, or get 20% below MSRP on these 2019 Double Cab and SLE Crew Cab models with a traditional tailgate.
See your local GMC dealer.
Massive savings this Friday at Ashley Home Store's Moonlight Madness. 10 hours only. Buy one, get one half off. Or pay no interest for 5 years with no money down. 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday only at Ashley Home Store.
You're watching WCBI's News at 5.
Welcome back, everyone. The start of the school year is always busy. There's the back-to-school shopping, the first day of class, and the new schedule. Getting the flu is probably the last thing on a parent's mind, but that's not the case in our area. Our Cash Matlock spoke with local educators on a possible flu outbreak in some schools. He joins us live in the studio with more. Cash.
Well, that's right, Scott. So far, there's been one case of the flu in the Lowndes County School District and multiple cases of the stomach virus in the Aberdeen School District. School nurses and teachers are trying to head off both illnesses before more students are affected.
We're only 9 days into the school year, and students across the area are already calling in sick.
This year has been the first year that we have had a virus going around at the beginning, and several students have went home from vomiting and having a fever.
We've seen several cases of strep throat. I did hear that we had a case of the flu already in August. So those are the main things so far.
New Hope Elementary School nurse Kim Woodruff says this time of year is odd timing for a virus like the flu.
Usually this is kind of early just for the flu mainly. Usually last year wasn't a bad flu season. The year before that was a really bad flu season. So yes, this early in August to have a flu case reported is pretty early.
Educators say younger students are especially vulnerable to multiple viruses.
Because we use tables, we have community supplies, and so they share the supplies, which is scissors, glue, and erasers and things of that nature. They're touching other people's iPads. We have earbuds in the room for every kid, or an earphone, and so, we like to clean those often to keep germs off of those.
Woodruff says because of the recent outbreak, she's even changing up some of her tactics when it comes to educating children about germs.
Instead of doing the high fives like we used to do, we teach them to do gentle fist bumps. In order to not to share germs. And we have friendly germs and we have some not so friendly germs. So we talk about hand washing, singing happy birthday to themselves silently 2 times. We talk about coughing or sneezing into their elbow or their shirt instead of coughing into their hands.
As for children that are already sick, school districts are urging parents to take certain steps to avoid spreading germs.
Please keep them home so we can minimize the germs and other students won't get sick.
And if you and your family are able to get a flu vaccine, please do so. Usually you can talk to your doctor about it. It's recommended usually in October, late October.
Well, both districts say their schools supply each classroom with hand sanitizer and Clorox wipes, but parents are encouraged to donate other cleaning supplies.
All right, Cash, thank you very much. Something else we've got to worry about, the West Nile virus. It's the most common virus transmitted by mosquitoes, and cases pick up right around this time of year. Dania Bacchus has more.
You may have noticed more of those pesky mosquitoes biting recently, and whether they could be carrying West Nile virus is a big health concern now. 36 states are reporting infections in people, birds, and mosquitoes. Dr. Peter Hotez is with Baylor College of Medicine.
We're right now at around the peak period of West Nile virus, and this is going to continue into September. West Nile virus is the greatest health threat to the United States in terms of mosquito-transmitted viruses.
The CDC says there have been 128 cases of West Nile disease in people this year, and 4 have died. Cases with severe disease are also on the rise.
1 in 5 individuals will get sick. They'll develop fever, sometimes fever and a rash, and a headache, And then a subset of those individuals will progress to what we call neuroinvasive disease, where the virus actually crosses into the central nervous system to cause encephalitis.
Protecting yourself from mosquito bites is critical. The CDC recommends using insect repellent containing one of these ingredients. Christina McCarthy admits she doesn't always carry bug spray.
I do have bug spray at home, so maybe I should just move that from my house to my car. This way I have it when we're going on hikes.
Wearing long pants and sleeves can also keep mosquitoes away. So can limiting time outside during dusk and dawn. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
People over 60 years old with underlying conditions such as high blood pressure and diabetes are at higher risk of developing severe illness from West Nile.
Well, more of the same here as we start the weekend. The next 24 here in the Columbus area, down into the mid to upper 60s tonight. And look at this, tomorrow back into the mid to maybe upper 90s. I'm back with your full 7-day forecast next.
I switched from Dodge.
We switched from Ford.
I switched from Ram. I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy. We switched to Chevy.
For dependability.
For these guys.
And just look at it.
We switched to Chevy.
See for yourself why people are switching at the Chevy All-Star Open House.
Get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 cash allowance when you finance with GM Financial. Or get a total value of over $8,700 on this all-new Silverado. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Brock and Credle Insurance is offering new ways to save on Medicare supplement insurance plans. We recommend Plan G for its great coverage and lower premiums. Plan G pays your Medicare Part A deductible, co-pays, and all of the 20%. You may qualify for a household discount. It is important that you call or come by our office to check your eligibility. Call 844-3300. That's 844-3300 today.
How well do you really know Jim Hood? Jim Hood stood with Obama when his administration adopted radical, extreme policies. Hood stood with liberals in Washington and refused to fight to stop Obamacare. Hood even stood with Hillary after she called Trump voters deplorable. Now Jim Hood is standing with the radical liberal resistance, suing to stop the Trump agenda. If Jim Hood is standing with them, he's not working for us.
It's back to school time, and at Kroger, we've got more ways to save, like great sales on their favorites, digital coupons, and fuel points too. So saving is easy.
I switched from Dodge.
We switched from Ford.
I switched from Ram. I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy. We switched to Chevy.
For dependability.
For these guys.
And just look at it.
We switched to Chevy. See for yourself why people are switching at the Chevy All-Star Open House.
Get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 cash allowance when you finance with GM Financial. Or get a total value of over $8,700 on this all-new Silverado. See your North Mississippi Chevy dealers.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
5:16 on our Friday afternoon. Look at this great view in downtown Tupelo looking back to the east. No weather worries here today or tomorrow either as we get ready for the weekend. In Columbus, much the same story. We are mainly sunny. We've got a temperature of 92 in Columbus, 93 for you. In Tupelo, a little bit cooler. In Starkville, 91. But notice the heat index here, only in the mid to upper 90s. And that's because the air is pretty dry. So it's hot, yes, but it is dry across the region. The humidity value is very, very low, below 40% here. And that's a nice change of pace. So it's always nice to have a dry heat versus a muggy heat like what we had earlier this week. And because it's so dry, we don't have really any cloud cover in the region. There's some clouds back to the north and some rain up there in Missouri and northern Arkansas, also down there right along the coast, but we are sandwiched in between. So we're looking great for your Saturday and probably Sunday too. Now, there's a chance for a few storms Sunday. Most spots will not see it. A better chance for some of those scattered showers and storms as we get into next week. The overall weather pattern is just going to be very typical of late summer here in the deep south. Pop-up showers and storms mainly during the heating of the day. As we get into next week, it's all going to be random as to who sees what next week. Temperatures will peak tomorrow, mid to upper 90s, still in the mid 90s on Sunday. And then as that moisture returns, our temperatures come down just a little bit during the day and our overnight lows come up just a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit muggier as we get into next week. Tonight, still quite comfortable here, mainly clear, upper 60s to around 70 with calm wind. And for your Saturday by 10, 85 by 1 o'clock, 93. And there's the forecast high, 97 degrees here as we start the weekend. 97 in Tupelo, 96 Houston and Calhoun City. Winds variable here at about 3 to 7, if anything from the south, but that chance of rain is 0. So any outdoor activity you have, pool, lake, fishing, what have you, just wear the sunscreen, your sunglasses. Upper 90s here in the West Alabama as well. The heat index still in check for our Saturday, flirting with the century mark, but a little bit higher on Sunday, low 100s as that moisture creeps on back. Let me show you that. Tomorrow we are partly cloudy, but as we get into your Sunday, there will be a better chance for a few spotty storms, especially across the west and southwest, and then we'll all have a chance for some of those scattered showers and storms as we get into your Monday and basically all of next week with those spotty storms here. So here's your AccuWeather 7-day. 97 tomorrow, 95 on Sunday, low to mid-90s for all of next week with scattered showers and storms.
Looks like a nice weekend. Thank you very much, Keith. One Starkville native may have been underestimated an underestimated NFL pick, but is making himself known anyways. More details next in sports.
WCBI First Alert Forecast is brought to you by Alpha Insurance. Call Alpha agent Chris Ballard in Starkville for all your insurance needs.
I've been practicing since 1981. I can tell you I've had a few wrinkles on my face too, from working and fighting to make sure no one is a victim of the insurance company. We know what we got to do. We've done it thousands of times. We'll help you. Just call us.
Hey. Really? Hi, guys.
We like the gray.
It's car buying season at Nissan's Bottom Line Model Year-End event. Get the bottom line on the last of our 2019s, like the Tech Advanced Rogue and Altima. Hurry in for model year-end savings on our full line. Now, save up to $4,000 or get a low $199 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Rogue.
Bill Waller. You have a couple of ideas that some conservatives may have trouble wrapping their arms around.
Right.
Raising the gasoline tax.
Right.
Possibly expanding Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
Medicaid expansion.
Yes.
Now that could add 300,000 people or so to the rolls. How do you justify that?
I think we have to do it.
Hold it.
Bill Waller wants to raise taxes and expand Obamacare. No wonder the press says Bill Waller is sounding liberal.
I switched from Dodge.
We switched from Ford.
I switched from Ram. I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy. We switched to Chevy.
For dependability.
For these guys.
And just look at it.
We switched to Chevy.
See for yourself why people are switching at the Chevy All-Star Open House.
Get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 cash allowance when you finance with GM Financial. Or get a total value of over $8,700 on this all-new Silverado. See your North Mississippi Chevy dealers.
Tonight, come get your Longhorn fire-crafted flavors. The Outlaw Ribeye, pepper-crusted New York strip, baby back ribs. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
What does my family love about Burlington? The brands.
The savings.
Everything for the home.
The savings.
The toys.
The savings.
I love the selection.
I love the savings.
I love that I can do so much for my family.
We love Burlington.
We work on your case on a contingency basis. We don't make money unless you make money. Our job is to net you the biggest amount of money we can through our firm. So we're going to communicate with you and get you the biggest settlement we possibly can.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Ole Miss's defense was the obvious Achilles heel in 2018. They finished ranked 121 out of 129 defenses. Defensive coordinator Mike McIntyre was then brought in to hopefully help turn things around as Ole Miss prepares for a new offense as well. Both McIntyre and offensive coordinator Rich Rodriguez use each other to help with improvements on both sides of the ball.
Rich and I try to help each other out. I'll go to Rich, hey, I need to see some of this, and he'll go, I need to see some of that. So we need to be able to, because we don't have preseason games. We don't have those situations. So, it is competitive when it gets going, but it's also calculated competitive, a lot of it, to help each other out, to help the offense get better, help the defense get better. So there's been a great cooperation there. Matt's done a great job of us all three sitting down and saying, hey, what does each guy need to help, and it's worked out real well.
Say hello to Mr. Irrelevant no more. Former Starkville Yellow Jacket and current tight end for the Arizona Cardinals scored a 12-yard touchdown in the final seconds of Thursday night's matchup to the Raiders. Down by 26 until the third quarter, the Cardinals, with the help of Wilson, put 26 themselves on the scoreboard. Wilson was drafted at the 254th pick out of UCLA. With just 1 week until the start of the high school football season, jamborees have returned for the weekend. Tonight, Philadelphia at Louisville, Tupelo at Amory, Boonville at Hatley, and then Boonville at Itawamba, or versus Itawamba, also at Hatley, rather. We'll have those highlights for you coming up tonight at 10. And also coming up tonight at 10, as well as 6, the high school football tour continues on. We check in with the Lafayette Commodores, who are looking to avenge falling in the second round of the playoffs from last season. Make sure to join us and get ready for the upcoming football season. That's it for sports. We'll have the last look at your weather when we come back. Stay with us.
Shop back to school at Belk with active styles that are fire. Totally whoa. And oh so fresh. Shop awesome doorbusters and save during our one-day sale. Now at Belk and Belk.com.
John Caldwell, a decorated combat veteran with over 30 years of service to his country and a lifetime fighting for North Mississippi. Ask John why he's running for Transportation Commission, and he'll tell you. Better roads mean better jobs. John knows our roads and understands our community. He's a proven conservative who's cut wasteful spending and delivered. Better roads, better jobs. John Caldwell for Transportation Commission.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
Get over $10,000 total value on this next generation 2019 Sierra Crew Cab SLT, or get 20% below MSRP on these 2019 Double Cab and SLE Crew Cab models with a traditional tailgate.
See your local GMC dealer.
Carl Hogan Chevy Buick GMC is cooking up the best deals around.
Start with a stock of more trucks, loaded up with big markdowns,
and reduce it down to the lowest price.
Makes for a mighty tasty deal.
Silverados and Sierras are up to 25% off. Save over $11,000 on this loaded Silverado LT, just $32,990. Save $11,000 on loaded Sierras, only $34,990. Carl Hogan Chevy Buick GMC Cadillac in Columbus.
Shop the Belk one-day sale through Sunday. Levi's denim for the family starting at $24.99. Spend $100 on Levi's and get an Amazon Fire Stick for $5. Select luggage 60% off. Shop now at belkandbelk.com.
All right, look at these precious babies. Otters, they're pretty much my favorite animals. These two guys, they were rescued last month off the coast of Monterey Bay, California. Right now, they don't have any names. The two, they're not related. They were rescued after being found by kayakers. The playful pair each weigh about 20 pounds.
And now they're doing really great. They've been here for just about a month, and they're about three and a half months old now. And they're doing really well. They're gaining weight. They're learning how to do all the things about being an otter. So diving down, eating solid food. We actually have to go in and teach them how to groom. So we'll take towels and wipe down their fur, help separate their hairs, and basically teach them how to be otters, things that their mothers would teach them to do in the wild.
And they're so cute. Look at that face right there. The average weight for an adult male otter, which I didn't know this, 75 pounds. That seems like a big otter.
They look like they're having a lot of fun right there.
They did. And you know what? We're going to have fun this weekend.
So, are you going to look like that in the pool tomorrow, twirling
yeah,
around,
that's
eating
exactly
ice
what I'm
cubes
gonna
or whatever they were doing?
So if you see some guy just twirling around in the water like that, it's going to be
rolling around like a log in the water. But perfect pool day tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. We love it. All right. So have a good weekend, Keith. We'll see you all back here tonight at 10 o'clock.